You don't want the top 100 coins, man.
We're catastrophic rise inside of momentum, right? We're seeing a huge.
Yo quiero pues que sepan cómo trabajo yo mi operativa.
Now, we know that once we have a resistance zone in the market, right, it's because it's creating a wall.
We have started to see USD CAD slow down quite a bit.
Okay, everyone, we're going to be starting in just a few moments. Make sure you're spreading the word. Let's go ahead and get this going, fill everybody up, get everybody on this call.
You don't want the top 100 coins, man.
We're catastrophic rise inside of momentum, right? We're seeing a huge.
Yo quiero pues que sepan cómo trabajo yo mi operativa.
Now, we know that once we have a resistance zone in the market, right, it's because it's creating a wall.
We have started to see USD CAD slow down quite a bit.
All right, we're going to get this going in just a moment. Let's go ahead and make sure we're bringing 2 friends onto the show. Go ahead and send this link out. Let's get this packed. I know it's 4th of July week. Let's get this going. A very important call today. All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. Okay, guys, if you can see and hear me, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me. Let me see that you guys can see and hear me, please. Type a 1 in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Where is everyone from? Where is everyone watching from? I am currently in Florida. So let me see. Where are you guys from, guys? Put it in there for me. Type it in the chat for me. We have a great session today. I mean, talk about information overload. We are about to have a great day today. All right, so we got Miami, we have UK, we have Davie, we have Montreal. Where else? South Africa. All right, yeah. Savannah, perfect. Texas. Nigeria. See, guys, we are from all over, right? We're global. So, guys, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Claudia. I am known as Claudia 1 Million, and I am one of the top leaders here at the Akashex Academy and MDC, right? And I want to welcome everyone here to our Traders Inner Circle. Okay, and we have a great day today. I mean, it is 4th of July weekend or week, whatever you want to call it. And everyone's super excited, right? A lot of you guys are on vacation. Who's on vacation already? Put some high fives in there if you are already on vacation. If you've already started, because tomorrow's 4th of July. Who's on vacation here? Like, we're not on vacation. We're here to help you guys and educate. So let's see. Not yet. Okay. Who else? Anyone else out there on vacation? Exactly. Exactly. For those individuals that don't have a 9 to 5 and have already evolved into that state of their progress, right, of their life, then we're always on vacation. Isn't that great? I mean, I'll tell you, I'm really enjoying that aspect of everything, especially being a trader. So listen, like I said, my name is Claudia 1 Million. I've been in this industry going 3.5 years, going on 4 years. Okay, and we're going to be speaking to these educators today. I am here to introduce the educators on the platform, and we have some great topics we're going to be speaking about. This is really to show you guys who it is that you are getting on the sessions with, so you can learn some more. This is beyond the sessions. This is really getting to know the educators one-on-one and how they think, how they feel, what their strategies are, etc. So I'm just going to go one by one, introduce you guys. And if you can just give us a, one or two sentences, actually 2 or 3 sentences of who you are on the platform and what it is that you're trading, your specialty, and where you're from. That way, for the new individuals that are new to the call, can get to know who you are personally. So I'm going to start with you, Brent. Are you there?
Yo,
Perfect.
what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me? Everybody good? Pretty sure I'm good. I'm good because I was on OBS. Cool. Awesome. Good afternoon. Hi, everybody. My name is Brent All. I'm a Cashix educator. My specialty is Forex. I do know how to trade binary. I have a pretty crazy 1-minute OTC strategy that I like. But more than anything, I do Forex here for a Cashix. I trade indices, so NAS 100, gold. I like the opening bell. I like trading news, prop firms. So a lot of the stuff that you're not supposed to do is what I do. So this is a great time for you to be here as a panelist to speak about what our topic is. So I love the fact that I landed today out of all days. I'm here, so I'm super happy to share my side of things, of course. But yeah, that's what I do here for Cash. I've been doing it now for almost 4 years now. And it's great because I'm here being a fellow educator with a lot of educators that I learned from. So I get to be here throughout the time and be where we are, headed where we're headed. So exciting times.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Brent. All right. Let me see some fire emojis in here for Mr. Brent. Come on, guys. I mean, he's amazing. Talk about, having flexible, right, strategies that go binary or Forex. That's amazing to be able to do both, right? So we're here to learn. All right. So the next person I'm going to introduce is Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hey guys, I hope that all of you guys are doing well. I'm Jeffrey Beausoleil. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I'm 24 years old. I specialize in Forex, but I can also trade crypto too. I've been trading for 4 years. And the reason I have a funny accent is because I'm French. So hopefully all of you guys are going to be able to understand what I'm saying. But I'm super happy to be here today. I feel like the topic of today's call is super important. It's one of the most important part of trading. So I'm super happy and grateful to be a part of today's trader circle. And I hope that you guys are going to enjoy.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. All right, guys, let me see some little Eiffel Towers. Some Eiffel Towers for French. Whee! Amazing. Like I'm telling you guys, everyone, in this industry, right? We're global. Like, where else are you able to tap in and really learn, right, from a different array of individuals from all over the world, different upbringings, different, different languages. And we're here to tap in. Like, guys, make sure you're sharing this with your friends. Like, everyone should have at least one guest on here with them. This is a great opportunity for them to be able to see what it is that we're doing and how we're able to help our communities. Okay. And last but not least, let's see, Mr. Rich, are you on
here? Yes, ma'am. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Super grateful to be a part of this call, guys. For those who don't know me, my name is Richard Lantigua, aka Rich Vendiga. I'm currently an educator for the platform on Akashex, specializing in Forex, but I pretty much trade not just currency pairs, but commodities like gold and also indices like NAS 100. And I pretty much right now I'm living in Houston, but I'm originally from Miami. So 305 to H-Town, wherever you guys are tuning in from, let's go. But yeah, guys, pretty much what I do is smart money concepts, right? So looking at manipulation in the markets and kind of formulating my ideas around that way of looking at things. And I usually swing trade for the most part. Sometimes my setups are intraday, same day, but a lot of my setups, typically take a couple of days to play out. And that's just pretty much based on my personality type as well. So that's a little bit about me, guys. Let's go.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Let me see some. Oh, thank you for sharing, Rich. Let me see some 305s in the chat. because you know that's my area code. Let me see some 305s up in there. Drop some 305s for Rich, because guess what? We are going to be in the 305 in October. All right. So don't miss out. You guys, we have something out of this world. You have no idea. So you need to make sure you get your tickets. Like after we get off this call, go purchase your ticket. Don't miss out. It's on super sale right now. All right. Early bonus sale. Go ahead and purchase. We're going to have Airbnbs. We're going to have yachts. We're going to have parties. Guys, like parties as in mentoringship. Okay. Let's get that straight. But all right. But we're going to really throw it down in Miami and let them know what X is and MDC. All right. So make sure. So make sure. Okay, right. So make sure you go ahead and purchase those tickets. All right, because remember, with what the special is, what we're having is to we're going to include as many as you possible with the Airbnbs and the yachts and everything, but it's first comes, first serve. You got to have your ticket first. All right, so don't miss out. If you miss Tennessee, you missed out. It's time to get with the program and be there. All right. Okay, with that being said, today's topic, Forex to life. All right. We're unveiling the power of risk management, right? And shaping your success. Let me see some money bags in this chat when if you understand what risk management is, because I'll tell you, it took me quite some time, right, as a student to truly understand what risk management is and figure that out. Okay. So, with that being said, that's why we're going to really speak about that, because it's very important if you guys are new to trading. Even if you're not new to trading and you're like doing some wild lots and stuff and you're always crashing your accounts, you know who you are, right? We're going to talk about risk management. And this is also very important for if you're having some sort of prop firm, okay? Because you got to have the risk management, because that drawdown is going to knock you right out if you're going fly high all day long with those full lots. Like, no, okay. And then you're throwing your computer, right? And then you're saying this doesn't work. Well, it does work. It's just that you're not mentally there yet and you're not aware about the risk management aspect of it. So we're going to start off. You guys, whoever wants to start off first, just unmute yourself. And basically, I'm going to start with the first question. And what are some common risk management? Oh, actually, no, let's back this up. Okay. What are the key elements of a solid risk management plan, right? For Forex traders, right? And really with that, how can, the student really implement these strategies? How can we start off? Let's start off with that with the students and what are the key elements for a solid risk management plan? Who wants to start off? Just unmute yourself. Let's go, guys. Jeff, you go first. Okay.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first. It's all right.
At the same time. Go ahead.
So what are the key elements of a solid risk management plan for Forex? I feel like, first of all, you need to know what type of strategy you are using, depending on whether you are a scalper or an intraday or a swing traders. I feel like money management is going to be a bit different for each and every single type of strategy. That's my personal opinion. After that, I feel like you need to know, no, it's not a feeling, like you need to know how much money you're going to be having in your account. So do you have a $100 account? Do you have a $10,000 account? Or do you have a $100,000 account? Because each and every single level of money that you attain is going to have an effect on your emotions, on your psychology and everything. And psychology is super important when you are trading. So I feel like, first of all, what type of strategy are you using? Then how much money you're going to be having, and then how much money are you willing to risk? Because some people are not going to be like comfortable risking more than 0.25%, and some people are going to be comfortable risking 1% per trade of their total account balance. So I feel like that's like the key elements you need to find. And after that, I mean, it's all about, testing the waters. Are you comfortable trading what you are doing? What type of pairs are you using? What type of currency are you trading? You're like, this is all elements that needs to be taken into consideration when you are building a risk management plan and trading plan.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff. So having a plan is very important, right? So guys, you should have a pen, paper, so you can write some of this information down, because part of your strategy and your plan is what? Risk management. Figuring out, okay, first you figured out what you're going to be trading, right? So now you have to figure out how it moves, right? How it moves so you can calculate and really see those lot sizes, how they, because they run a little different for each pair and what you're trading. Okay, so make sure you're writing that down. Thank you so much, Jeff, for those gems. Like, guys, let me see some diamonds in the chat. Some diamonds if you understand what he's speaking about here. And I think we're gonna have Brent come on next. Go ahead, Brent, you follow that one and add.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm saying, of course, even before that, right? We're not financial advisors, so understand that we're talking about Forex, guys. So don't come after us. But to answer that question too, I think it's super important. I always say that during the sessions, right? It's a self-auditing situation. That's super important to me. I always say you have to self-audit not only your account but yourself too. Like that's really going to be key to it. So it's one, your account, like your account based off your strategy that you find or the educator that you find that you follow. What does that educator do? Does they scalp like I do, for example? And like I always tell my people, hey, if you're going to risk 1% a day, divide that times 5, because we're going to take at least 5 trades. Like, and that's not normal for Forex, but that's just the way that I do. And then there might be on the other hand, like Jeff or like Rich, right? Like, hey, we're going to take this one and we're going to let it run for 3 days. So that might be just a full one risk at that point. But you have to audit your account to fully understand what capabilities will your account have to not burn it, either being prop firm or not. And same thing, you have to audit yourself. I think that's really a super key point for me. And I'd say that multiple times. And with the example that I use is when I come to prop firms, for me personally, I have no shame saying this, prop firms at 100K prop firms, I struggle with. Because currently in my life, I'm not spending $500 to $1,000 a day. Like I'm not going to eat at a restaurant and dropping 500 like nothing. So when I'm in a 100K account, I can have a drawdown of up to like was like $5,000 something like that. So negative 500 is nothing, but for me in my life currently it is, and that psychologically that has to affect you to where you understand you have to audit yourself and your account.
Thank you so much, Brent. Like that was some bomb information, guys. He is dropping knowledge here. Success leaves clues. Remember that. Success leaves clues. So if you want to be successful, you need to be writing down these clues, right? So prop firms, the amount that your prop firm is for, whatever your account is for, you have to take that into consideration. And again, you need a plan. You need to have a plan. Why? What do I say? No plan equals plan for destruction. Plan to fail. If you don't have a plan in place, that equals failure, guys. Okay, lots of lessons. I'm sorry to bear the news, but guess what? Lots of lessons. So we need to make sure we have a plan in place, and going by what the currencies that you're choosing to trade with, whatever commodities, whatever it is that you're going to pick. Also the time, also you yourself, right? If you can handle it mentally. If you're an emotional wreck today, then you shouldn't be on the charts, right, guys? And lot sizes. All right. And let's see, Rich, see some value that you're going to be adding. Because I every time I speak to you, you are just so much full of value that it just amazes me every time I get to speak with you, Rich. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I want to get a quick temperature check in the chat real quick. So if you guys trade a personal account, drop personal in the chat. If you trade prop firm, drop prop in the chat. And the more activity we get, the more value we're going to get from myself and from all the speakers. So let's go. We got a lot of prop, some personal. Come on, keep them coming in. Okay, personal. Oh, so personal is taking the lead now. Okay. All right. So safe to say it's like 60-40. So we'll talk on both, right? So, and I want to kind of dive into this because the other two speakers, Jeff and Brent, they talked about some, of the basic elements and the most important parts about risk management. And I love how Brent really kind of talked about, your personal psychology with what type of money you've been used to in your life, because that is actually a super nugget, super, super, super nugget. Now, when it comes to personal accounts, right? Most people are going to be trading maybe when they're starting with $100, $500, probably under four figures, because obviously, you know, you don't want to put your life savings or a lot of capital in there if you aren't 100% sure, or you haven't had enough experience to really, you know, mentally handle seeing that account go up and down. I'm going to be real with everybody on here, right? I think the place that you want to get to as a trader is the point where you have a very big amount of capital, whether it's through personal funds that you have put in there from work, from your businesses, from other streams of income, or if you get funded through a prop firm, right? That should be the goal, because eventually when you have enough capital, you can really start to risk small amounts and still have enough profits made that make a difference in your life. At the end of the day, we can talk about 1% risk, and that's what I like to do, trading prop firms with a strong capital. But if you're on here to change your life with trading and you're trading with small amounts of money, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to happen risking 1%. It's just math. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to risk management, in the sense that I can go on here and say, hey, professional traders risk 1% or less of their capital, and that could be true. But if you guys are willing to accept the risk and you have enough reward that makes sense, that is really what matters at the end of the day, paired with your statistics, right? And if you guys don't know your personal statistics, that's where you have to start. You need to build a portfolio of who you are as a trader and what you can consistently do. Because if somebody's on here and they're an 80% win rate trader, then you guys can up your risk. If you guys are 50% to 60% win rate, which is what I do, I can't be in a position risking 10 to 20% of my capital on a trade, because if I have my three trade losing streak, I'm like down half my account and I'm freaking out. You see, so that's the real truth about your personal funds, right? Is you can account flip and you can really multiply your account very quickly, but don't think you could do that forever, right? Your goal, if you're going to be doing account flipping with a small account, is to be able to take that capital and put it into an account where you're more conservative, right? And if you're on a prop firm, then you guys can have the luxury of trading what I would say is correctly, or what you eventually want to be like, risking a very small amount of your capital, maybe 1-2%. And, you know, if you're doing a funded account challenge, you're probably going to have to risk a little bit more for your phase one than you would if you had the live account. And I'm not going to get into that because that's a longer conversation. And we do have some exciting things coming to Akashex, like our Prop Firm Academy. Shh, y'all heard it here first, but that's something that, you know, we will dive into. But for the most part, guys, you know, everything that Jeff said, everything that Brent said, as far as knowing your capital, knowing what you're willing to risk, and just being okay with accepting that is the most important thing. Because if you guys are not in the right state of mind and you can't handle that, then that's ultimately what's going to mess you up.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, guys, you know, just like you said, being in the right state of mind. And who's excited about this Prop Firm Academy? I see some high fives up in the chat. Don't tell anybody. It's our little secret on this call. See, we get some juice. If you're on the call, you get some special announcements without being announcements, right? So look, guys, you guys are in the right place at the right time. This is like the top of the top. I mean, all I see is success and big things happening with this company. So big kudos to all of you guys for even being on this call and being part of this venture. And this excitement is growing. So just a friendly reminder, just want to let you guys know that all of this is for educational purposes. We are not any financial advisors. We are not here to give you guys any type of financial advice. So there is always a risk when you go into trading. All right. So that is something that you need to look at yourself. All right. And make sure that you're doing your own risk analysis. All right. And like all of this is for information and educational purposes. Had to drop that in there. But anyway, let's keep going. All right. Let's just put some excitement in here. How about who can answer this one for me? So how do traders set and manage stop loss? orders, right, effectively to limit potential losses in Forex trading? And that's a really good question because, you know, I see a lot of students where they ask, they don't know where to put their stop loss, right? So their order would be effective because some people, they'll go in a trade. How many of you, let me see some SLs in there. If you've ever put a trade in, you've put that stop loss and then you end up in the negative. Even though you calculated somehow you were going to be in the positive, it was just going to hold you, right? Right? But you end up really in the negative without realizing it. Okay. All right, great. So let's start with you, Jeff. What is how do traders set and manage their stop loss orders effectively to limit potential losses in Forex trading?
Well, I'm gonna talk for myself on what I do. I like to use a predetermined set of pips for my stop loss all the time. So every single trade I take is usually around 5 to 10 pips maximum. This is what I like. And then what I used to do with my strategy, because I use a mix of like smart money concept and a bit of a bit of I have a bit of a melting pot when I trade of everything I learned so far and what I like to mix together. And when I used to only trade smart money concept, I would follow, you know, the structure, so the market structure. So it all depends on what type of strategy you are using. And I feel like if you don't know what to do, like if you don't know what stop loss you should be using or whatever, I feel like maybe you should go back into the learning and really learn how the strategy works. Because if when you take a trade, if you don't know where to put your stop loss, once you start a trade, if you're using stop loss, I know that some people don't use stop loss, but when you start a trade and you don't know where to put your stop loss, like that's a mistake already. You should always know where you're going to put your stop loss when you start a trade. So so if you don't know how to do it or where to place it, you should go back and learn and learn more about your strategy, because every single strategy has a way to use a stop loss. So that's what I would say. And I mean, after that, depending on on how much you want to risk and stuff, then you can use a loss size calculator depending on the size of your stop loss to help you make, you know, better decision when it comes to how much you want to risk and stuff. But again, I feel like if you don't know where to put it, maybe you should learn a bit more about your strategy and how strategy works, so you can make better, you know, like the best decisions for yourself when it comes to your stop loss.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff. And you know, he brought up a lot of great points, right? Like if you're going into a trade and you don't have a stop loss, or at least, you know, what is your risk management, then you can really lose your entire account in the blink of an eye. You know, you can turn around, go get a glass of juice or something in the kitchen, come back and the market went the opposite way and your whole account is gone. Who's ever had anything like that happen to them? Let me see some high fives there. If that's happened to anyone, as of, you know, I'm hoping not. But has anyone had that type of experience? I know I did when I first started. Yeah, I sure did. Guys, you have no idea. My first trade, listen, my first trade, I was up $22,000. I went to the restroom, came back, I was gone. It was in the negative. So I know all about it. That was 40. That was like 3.5 years ago. Yeah, exactly. All right. So thank you for being transparent, everyone, right? That we're here to share all this information and share our stories, because that way everyone can learn from each other. And that's the biggest thing here, is that we're here to really learn and encourage everyone. How about for you, Rich? What is your what do you have to say when it comes to stop loss and how traders should manage and set their stop losses? That way, you know, it's effectively to limit their potential losses in Forex trading.
For sure. But real quick, guys, Claudia is such an amazing host, and she hosts these like every single week, as well as our onboardings on Saturdays. And she does this for everyone, not just her team. So let's give some big shout outs to Claudia in the chat really quick before I give this answer, because I feel like Claudia doesn't get enough love. So we got to show Claudia some love because she kills it with these calls. Amazing. So to answer this question, guys, I really love what Jeff said, and I'm not going to be redundant. Really, it comes down to your strategy, right? Predetermined stop loss before you ever enter a trade is non-negotiable. The only reason why you guys would not have a stop loss or that you don't respect the stop loss that you put and you start moving it as the trade goes against you is because one, you don't know what you're doing, or two, you just have somewhat of an ego. And I don't mean ego as arrogant. I just mean the ego that you think that you know what's going to happen next in the market and you don't. Like there's a lot of times where I'll set a stop loss and it'll hit and I'm very tempted to want to move the stop loss. And I'm like, you have no idea what this chart can do, especially the indices. And I know Brent, especially you trade NAS a lot. NAS will do some things that you're like, this makes zero sense. So don't think that because you have some experience or that you've probably seen the market do this thing where it taps your stop loss and drops. That may not happen. And all it takes is one mistake, one time for you to get burned. And when you get burned, you're going to be in a bad state of mind. And then you're going to have to mentally recover to even get your capital recovered. I think mentally recovering from moving your stop loss or not respecting a stop loss is the harder part than actually recovering the capital. So your strategy is everything, right? For me personally, I trade smart money concepts like Jeff. And so I have point of interest candles, basically a zone where if it goes past that zone, the trade is invalidated, point blank, period. And that's how I know where to set my stop loss. So my stop loss will literally be different every single time. Jeff, you see, he does it a different way. He has a predetermined amount of pips, right? That's his system. For me, if I'm trading NAS, I could have a 750 pip stop loss, and then I'll go and have Euro USD have a 25 pip stop loss. But guess what? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about percentages. So I'll lose the same percentage regardless of what I'm trading. So for me, it's all about, the element of your strategy, where you're going to put your stop loss is determined on how you trade. And then the second thing for me is risk to reward. Like if I have a setup that I like where the zone makes sense, but my targets are only going to give me maybe like a 2-to-1, I probably won't even want to take that trade. Even if it ends up becoming a winner, I'm not mad because my setups need to be at least 3-to-1 risk to reward minimums for my strategy. So it's all about you guys building a system for yourself. So just know that you're the X factor. You're the one that has to make these decisions and take responsibility.
Amazing,
Man,
Rich. Thank you so much.
that's crazy right there. I mean, it's a 3-for-3 situation. Like, I'm not even going to waste more time on this particular question, right? So we keep on getting to the rest. And if it's a 3-for-3, then that has to make obvious sense for everybody else too. I mean, it's plain and simple because it's the exact same thing for me. It's more the sense of not when I'm looking for the stop loss, it's when I'm looking for my entry. When I find my entry, one of the things I have to check out for my entry is a stop loss. I do the same thing for gold. I risk 3. So like right now I'm in a buying gold at 920. My stop loss is 917, 30 pips, 3 full numbers. If the stop loss doesn't make sense, then I'm not entering. Plain and simple. Like it has to add up too. And in trading, that's the other side of things that we know, right? Consistency on growing your account, consistency on passing a prop firm. It's consistency. So the same way you have to accept it, right? The same way you're going to consistently win. When you consistently take L's, they have to be consistent too. You can't have one L of 80 pips and another one of 10 and another one of 30. No, you're going to fail. Like consistency on both sides.
Thank you, Brandon. I like how you said that. Consistency, even if it's L's, let it be consistent. At least now you know, right? And then you can work on that to make those wins, right? So guys, just so you are aware, you can find each of these educators, right, in the academy. Okay, you log into Akashex, you go into the academy. All right, all of their most of the live sessions are recorded. So if you missed a day, you can go in there. But if you go into the Educators Academy, you will be able to go into their content, all right, and learn their strategy. Okay, they will guide you. They're teaching you their strategy, what they're looking for in the market, and then you guys, listen, you can follow all 3, you can follow 2. It really depends on you. Like a lot of people ask, who do you follow? Well, it just depends. It depends on the time, depends on what I'm looking to trade, right? And who I feel flowing with, right? Because that's all it is. It's whoever you can really truly understand. Because whoever I may choose might not be the same person that you can like really understand what they're saying. Okay. So, but all I need to say is that they all have extreme value. All of our educators here at Akashex have extreme value. We have some new educators coming on board. I cannot wait to introduce them as well. Looking forward to this. Lots of excitement happening. Don't forget, if you're international, we have the Akashex bot. If you're not international, then get international so you can have the Akashex bot. All right. And go ahead and make sure you're sharing this into individuals, because this is all about impact. We are here to give value and impact. And when you're realizing that it's not about you, it's about whose life you can impact. Okay, that's when a lot of things are going to start changing. When you start getting those wins, it's for impact, right? It comes back to your why. Like, why are you doing this? And it's not for yourself. It's going to be most of the main reason is to spend more time with your family, right? That's probably the number one thing, that you're able to either help your family financially or spend more time with your family. But it comes back to family and time, right? So make sure that you're sharing this with other individuals so you can impact their lives. I'm telling you, once you see people really being successful in learning this trade, it's such a gratifying situation, and you feel really nice and humble inside. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. So let's think about emotions, right? Like, guys, how do traders handle emotion biases, right? And like psychological factors that may impact risk management decisions in Forex trading? Like, some of you might be having a crappy day and be like, I'm doing a Hail Mary. I'm doing it all because I need this. Okay, let's talk about the emotional and the psychological impact on that. And we'll start with Brent on this one.
I wonder why. Yeah, I mean, it definitely affects it. I mean, either you like it or not, you could come up and you could say, like, man, I'm tough, I have no emotions, I'm this, I'm that. It all go down the drain. I mean, also one of my favorite artists, Chester Bennington, he said that, right? Like, the dangerous place that he never liked to be was by himself in his head. Like, he said that. And it's true, right? A lot of times, especially when we're trading, and that's why I always say, get yourself with a community, get on a session. You might think that the educator doesn't even know that you're on. You might feel alone, but in reality, they're there with you. We're there with you at the same time. We're looking at the chat. Don't be by yourself, especially trading when you're having a bad day. Try to get away with it. Get into personal development. That's key. I mean, something that I was reading last week is that there's no such thing as a bad day. We have bad moments, but we don't have bad days. And it's all about what decision we take. Today, I had a mixer in Spanish about speaking about that, right? So I was saying how one simple decision, making one decision, which human beings don't like making decisions because there's consequence to it, right? But when we make that simple decision of one, we can take that path where we want. So taking that decision of saying, hey, I'm having a bad day. Do I take the decision of sitting down and trading right now when probably I shouldn't? Or do I take the decision of saying, hey, let me go walk the dog and come back and then actually sit down and trade? Because you're gonna forget about all of your rules. You're not gonna follow nothing. Everything's there, all the support is there. But when you get locked in by yourself at that point and you're hitting stop losses, like Rich said, you start moving your stop loss. I've been there before. You start thinking you know it, and like, man, I swear I've seen this before. I bet you if I'm gonna put my stop loss here, especially with indices, 30-30, NAS, everything the whole night. Today I lost 2 trade alerts that I sent out. Last week I crushed it with 150 like crazy. But then again, we're talking about this, right? Last week, 1 trade alert that I sent hit 150 pips, just one. Today I'm down 60 pips. So, that's the beauty of making sure that your stop loss is where it's at and you follow your plan through, because there's no emotions attached to it. You have to make sure you walk away.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Brent. Guys, let's give it up for that 160 pip move. Like, yeah, let me see some fires in there. That's a 160 pip move. All right. You could have passed your prop firm with that move right there with the proper lot management, right? That's amazing. But yeah, emotions, right? Emotions, and the psychological aspect that goes behind that as well. Rich, would you care to elaborate on that, on how traders should really be handling this?
Yeah, for sure. So I love how Brent mentioned personal development at the very beginning. Guys, look, trading is going to be the biggest mirror of who you are and how you think that you've ever had to face, because numbers don't lie and results are results. So if your account is not where it's got to be, it's a reflection of where you're at. And a lot of times people aren't self-aware of how they're thinking, how they're behaving, and they don't even know they need to change. But Forex will definitely reveal that to you. And I think a lot of people rage quit in their first couple of months because they'd rather put the blame on an industry or a mentor than taking accountability. And this will happen to you in your network marketing business, complaining about your uplines. This will happen to you in your job. It'll happen every single thing that you do until you realize that you are the problem and the solution. So if you guys aren't attending events like we were just at in Tennessee, Miami in October, if you're not reading books, if you're not listening to audios, I'm gonna be real. I talk about personal development. I do like reading books, but I haven't really read that many books this year. I listen to a lot of audios. I like audios. You got to find what resonates with you and that you can actually feel committed to and inspired, right? Find those faces that you resonate with and learn from them and be committed to your growth, because until you do that, you can think that you can be on a session with us all you want and take a million trades. It's not going to fix itself until you start to learn about how you are behaving and then making the necessary changes and keeping what works, right? Now, as far as emotions with your trading, a lot of people will talk about losses, and that's a big part of it, but I want to talk about wins too. Like, for example, the last like 4 signals that I sent have all like been crazy, like TPs, crazy profits on the last 4. But here's the thing, somebody that's newer to Akashex may take those 4 signals, win all of them, and you know what they're going to do with the next one I send out? They're going to triple down on their risk because they're like, oh, Rich has been killing it. And then you're going to probably, my next trade could probably be a loss. I'm not going to speak that. I'm not going to think that, right? But it's just statistics. It's the math of what happens with our trading. So don't triple down on risk when you're up like that. Don't think that a win streak lasts forever, because you're going to hit a losing streak, period. Like, it's going to happen. So don't just focus on how you handle the losses, but make sure you handle the wins correctly too, because, you know, it hurts to be up a lot and then you give it right back to the market. You need to know when to take your money out and when to take profit, as much as where you need to put your stop loss. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Rich. And he's absolutely correct. Like, all about emotions and self-development. Guys, self-development is key, you know, and being part of the John Maxwell leadership team, you know, I definitely understand, you know, taking that step for self-development is very important, because then you're going to recognize who you are as a person, where you are as an individual emotionally, right? And how you're able to move forward from there. And that definitely shows in your chart markups. It shows in your account balance. It shows in you as a person in the industry and everything else. So guys, that's something that you don't want to forget about. If you're not in any type of personal development chat or reading a book, then it's very important. You need to start now, okay? Because listen, you can say all you want, but you need to put the pride to the side, okay? Because if it's not working, it's for a reason. So we have to hold ourselves accountable, look in the mirror and say, hey, am I really here? Am I really transforming? Or am I just BSing myself? Because the only person you're lying to is yourself. Like, you know, we have great days, we have okay days, we have bad days, right? But we're pretty transparent. But if you're lying to yourself and lying to everybody else, then that's not going to do you any good as well. So just make sure you're digging deep and make sure that you're reading these books. Like I said, success leaves clues, and personal development is huge. I mean, it'll turn your life around in a blink of an eye. I'm telling you, just how you perceive information and take that in. So, Jeff, let's hear from you. What is your aspect? What do you think? And for this part of the question.
I mean, honestly, what can I say more? What can I add more to what just been said? Bombs have been dropped right now, so I don't really know what to add. What I must say is that trading has been the best thing for me in my life and the worst thing in my life. When you start, you feel confident. And one of my students actually, he was on a rise. You know, he was on a how can I say that in English? On a streaks. He was on a winning streaks. And last week he lost every single trade he took. And then he was like, damn, like, what am I doing wrong? What is it that is wrong right now? Like, is it my strategy? So, and then he tried to like add indicators and stuff. And I was like, bro, stop it. Go back to your plan. Manage your emotions. You were excited for a few weeks because you only got wins and wins and wins on wins on wins on wins, like triple his account. He was crazy, but then he lost everything. Why? Because he was too excited. He became overconfident and he risked more than he could handle. And then, you know, the results came that he got into a losing month because of that for June. So trading can be the most amazing thing in your life, but also the worst thing. And it all comes down again to what's been said before, personal development. If you haven't read Trading in the Zone, some people like it, some people don't. I love it. Honestly, I love it. But it's not for everyone. Okay. But if you haven't read it, try and read it, or at least get an audiobook, okay, of it. And one thing I like about Mark, he mentions in the book that trading, in a way, like, don't get me wrong, okay, you can have an edge, don't worry, you can have an edge and stuff, but at the end of the day, trading is like, the outcome can be random. And one thing that I liked, and that honestly now, and I always think about it, he says, before you start trading and before you take any trade, flip a coin, because you're gonna get 50-50 on that, you know, on that flip. But when you're trading and when you have an edge, you can get closer to like maybe 90-10 or 85-15 or 75-25. And when you realize that, you know, having a proper plan and following that plan can prevent you from making mistakes, getting overconfident, getting getting emotional because you're always following the same pattern every single time, is going to help you a lot. So try that today. Flip a coin, okay? Flip a coin before your next trade, and just, you know, get used to the fact that you're not always going to get the results you want. You're not always going to win. Nobody wins 100% of the time. If one of you guys wins 100% of the time, I want to get in touch with you. I want to get in touch with you, because honestly, if you can win every single one of your trade, you're amazing. And one last thing, when it comes to personal development, Brent did mention that TikTok can be amazing for personal development. And honestly, I don't use TikTok. I have an account, but I prefer Reels on Instagram. And on my Instagram, I have, you can have, how can I say that? Collections. So you can have collections on the different stuff you like to watch. So I have a funny stuff, like every time something makes me laugh, I put it in that. When I like cars, so I love Porsche, okay? My goal in life, one of my life goal, is to get a Porsche GT3 RS, okay? And here in Canada, it's like a $500,000 car, and that's my goal. I want to get there. So every single time I see a Porsche, I put it into my car collection. When I see self-development, I put it in mindset, okay? So, you know, when you watch and like self-development content, your TikTok or your Instagram Reels or whatever you're watching is going to show you that. It's going to send you always these videos. So right now, every single time I open my phone, it's either a cat that does funny stuff or it's personal development. And if for the day I want to watch personal development stuff, I go on my collection. I like every single one of the videos again. And then my For You page on Instagram is going to show me all this personal development stuff. I want to have some visions for that day. I love watches. Okay, I love watches. My goal is to get a certain amount of watches. Well, I go on TikTok and I watch some watches. I go on Instagram and I watch some watches. So personal development is going to help you a lot with your emotions. And if you haven't done it yet, you know, like, I have over 50 books that I've read. Okay. And that helped me get to the point where I am today. And if you haven't started, okay, yeah, Omega Constellations are beautiful. Or the Tour de Ville, the Tourbillon Tour de Ville is amazing, but I'm not gonna get into watches now. So Brent, we can hit me up in private. We're gonna talk about watches anytime you want, okay? Any day you want. But yeah, just start your personal development journey. It's gonna help you a lot. You need that. You cannot stay, for you to see changes in your life, you need changes in your mind. And that's something that, you know, personal development is going to help you get there. Okay. So I feel like I sometimes I talk a lot. Okay. I know. In French, we say Je suis verbomoteur, which means it's like I talk a lot and like my mind always talks, and I have ADHD, so I'm gonna stop right now. But overall, follow your plan, do some personal development, and yeah, let's get it.
Thanks, Jeff. Guys, let me see some coins, some tokens, some coins, right? He said flip a coin. Let's put some coins in the chat. So we're flipping the coin here, right? Talk about knowledge. Guys, have you guys have been getting some great knowledge today from these educators, right? What a great conversation today. Very important, all right? And you know, your emotional where you are mentally, emotionally, it plays a big factor. It plays a big factor when it comes to you having your plan in place and also having your risk management in place. Because, like I said, you might have that day that you're like, I'm going for it. I'm all in. We're gonna risk it all. And then, you know, we see you in the chat like with little angry faces saying, hey, done lost it all, starting over. So we want to kind of prevent that from happening. So very important. I guess for the last question for you guys is really, and this is something that I want to ask, okay? And I hope that this brings more value for everyone, but how can the traders, right, access and manage the risks that are associated with overnight positions and with weekend gaps? Like overnight positions and weekend gaps. That's a big one. And again, it comes to what? Your psychological. Like if you can't handle holding on to a trade for 2 days, then you shouldn't be taking those trades, right? So let's start with you, Rich. What is I know that you do what? Smart money concepts, right? So we're looking at a couple of days.
Yeah, it's funny because all the trades that I kind of like finalized their targets happened while I was sleeping. So this is like a perfect timing for this conversation. You know, at the end of the day, trade management, like when you're already floating in profit, is probably one of the least talked about and one of the biggest X factors in a trader's actual results, because a lot of people can do like before and after pictures of charts or whatever, but you don't know always where exactly did they actually get in, if the spread or if they kind of mistimed their entry, or did you use a limit so that way you got an exact entry, like that matters. And then your take profit levels. You may be in a trade where you're up like 3-to-1 risk to reward, but your profit, like your last target was a 4-to-1 risk to reward, for example. And overnight, you basically almost got there. And by the time you wake up, it reversed to your entry. And that's where it comes to personal preference of what you like to do. I personally like to, more times than not, put my stop loss at break even if the positions are already deep in profits, which is what I did yesterday. Like yesterday, by the time that I went to sleep was like maybe 1 something in the morning Central Time, so it was like 2 something Eastern, so like pre-London. Basically, sorry, I got like a brain fart there. But basically, the positions were almost halfway to TP. So like final target. So I was already deep enough to where I felt comfortable moving my stop loss to break even, because overnight, if it gives a reversal, right, then the last thing you want to do is be deep in profits and then hit a stop loss, you know? And there are some people that they personally like to just let the position either get to final target or hit stop loss, you know? And that's why I say at the end of the day, I can talk about what I do, but you have to take, again, responsibility for your trading and determine what you want to do. If you guys don't get to the point where you're your own signal taker and you're your own trade manager, then you're never going to experience the full growth and the things you want out of trading. I'm sorry, did I cut off there? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I got cut off there. So yeah, me personally, more times than not, I like to move my stop loss to break even in overnight positions, just to secure that entry. You can also consider taking partial profits. That's another thing I did yesterday. So I moved my stop loss to break even, and by the time I was up over like 2.5 to 1, I took half the profits, right? So when I woke up, they actually ended up hitting final targets. So in that case, it kind of worked out. But there's times where you can take an overnight position and then it hits your stop loss when you were already in profit, and that sucks. If you're already basically still at entry by the time you go to sleep, for example, then you kind of don't have a choice but to let the position go, because it's too close to entry for you to move the stop loss to break even, where it will tap it and then go into profit, and you're gonna be like, damn, I shouldn't have moved it. So every trade is unique. Every trade is gonna play out in such a specific way that you'll never really know. And at the end of the day, if you have the stop loss set, it's because you were willing to take that risk anyways. So the stop loss is your first cushion of like, hey, if I hit stop, I planned for it, cool. And I can't change the past. So if you hit break even and then it floated to your take profit 5, move on. Stop harping on it. Don't worry about it. It happens. You're going to have trades that break you out even and then go into profit. And then there's going to be times where you thank God that you put your stop loss to break even. So just know that trading is very dynamic. It's really different on a per trade basis. And you just have to see over time, tracking your performance, what tends to happen to you more. Do you tend to happen to wish you would have put your stop loss to break even? Or do you tend to usually hit break even and then go straight into profit? If you have enough data of what usually happens to you, then you know what you should do more times than not, if that makes sense. So that's what I would say.
Perfect. Thank you, Rich. Wow. He really summed it up there. Like it really, back again, you have to do your research. You have to do your studying, right? Mind control, controlling your emotions, having your plan in place. Jeff, would you like to add to this with overnight positions and weekend gaps? Do you take a lot of trades over the weekend where they'll sit there?
Usually when usually Friday afternoon, all my positions are closed. I don't like to keep positions during the weekend, because from my experience, what happens usually when I kept positions during the weekend, when the market opened again, like there would be like a wick or a reversal, the spread would get large and I would get hit, like my stop loss would get hit. So I don't like to hold positions during the weekend. There's no need for it for me, because I usually trade more scalps / intraday position. That's what I like to do. It's difficult for me to really answer when it's overnight. Usually when I go to bed, if I have a position, so depending on where the position is, because I usually have 5 TPs on a position. How I work with my TPs is when I hit TP1, I love to take partial profits. So because your goal as a trader is to protect your capital, and it's to secure capital. So when I hit my first TP, I close 25% of the position. When I hit TP2, I close another 25% of the position, and then I put my stop loss at break even. When I hit TP3, another 25% of the position. So now 75% of the position at TP3 would be taken, and my position would be at a break even. And then I like to leave it as a runner, so I leave it. I keep it running until I hit my TP5. Usually, when I hit my TP5, unless there's like a huge momentum that is happening, I usually close my positions. Okay, because I like to manage it like that. And if I have to take a position, let's say I'm at TP1 at 11 o'clock at night, and I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, I hate waking up to a loss. Emotionally, it hurts me, and I have difficulty with that, accepting that, because usually I like to follow what the trade is doing, and I'm a deep sleeper. So when I sleep, I sleep. Even if I put an alert or something, like I'm not gonna wake up. So if I'm at a TP1 when it's like 11 o'clock before I go to bed, what I do is I either break even the position and accept the fact that I can get stopped and the market leaves without me, or depending on what the market is doing, I would maybe like close half my stop loss. That's what I do. But then it's all about what I'm comfortable doing and what the way I manage my emotions. So that's what I do when it's overnight position. So weekend, I usually close everything. Overnight, that's how I work. So yeah, hopefully I was able to give maybe a bit more knowledge
Oh,
of
that's
what I do.
amazing. I can relate on going to sleep and waking up and it going the wrong way and then your stop loss hit. Like, who can relate to that? And sometimes you wake up and it's a deep profit, right? You're like, yes. But there it is again, the emotional aspect of it all goes into play. And you really have to, with time, you're going to realize that the emotions seem to go away. Okay. And then you're just kind of looking at the charts like, you win, you're like, yeah, okay. You're not doing jumping jacks and cartwheels, right? Because you start being emotionless. You just see numbers and you just see charts. Okay. And that's when you know that you've really progressed, when you're not like getting all excited and losing and getting all emotional, throwing the computer, throwing your phone, cursing it out, all that aspect of the emotions, right? But I'm gonna say this, and I've learned this from someone who keeps saying this all the time: when in blue, it's up to you. So with that being said, Brent, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I always say, like how I just say, when in blue, it's up to you. And here's the thing: I can't add much value as far as overnight, because what happens to me, I could care less if it hits stop loss. Like I always say in my sessions, like, why are you guys freaking out? If it hits, it hits. Who cares, right? Because we're having the proper lot size, even if it's overnight. I use the lot size calculators, whatever that Akashix has. If it's not a pair that I trade, whatever. It's more the fact that I'm sleeping and what am I thinking? Where is it at? And I'll grab the phone. Oh, okay, cool. It's this much. And okay, I gotta go to sleep now. And next thing you know, 3 hours pass and I keep on grabbing my phone and I can't sleep. And it's not because I'm worried. I'm just excited about knowing where it's at. So that's why I don't take overnight trades. But on the contrary, right, kind of closing out with something completely different, right? It's news. So something that I do a lot as far as news side of things, when you're trading news, as far as knowing what to do, I always say this: hey, understand that with news, there's going to be slippage. Slippage, if you don't know that, you find in the academy, but it's basically where the market literally will slip right through your stop loss, TP, entry, whatever it is. There's no respect. There's so much volume. So if you take a trade during news, understand that the risk means it could go past your stop loss. It could burn your account in the same way it could go all the way up to where in the Akashix, I called out one time when what's his face, Powell spoke one time in the Akashix, I called the trade. And in 30 seconds, it was like under 60 seconds, we went to like 1,800 pips. Like, like it's part of what happens. But then there's other times too where we put a 30 pip stop loss and next thing you know, it closed you out negative 120 and you're like, shit. So it's just part of stuff. If you're not willing to take a risk, just don't take it. That's the only time where your trading plan might not be respected. And it's not that you're not doing it, it's the market that does it. But that's kind of the contrary of what we're talking overnights and the news one. And that's kind of what I wanted to close out with there. But get your sleep. Sleep's important, guys. Get your sleep.
Absolutely. And I remember, oh, hold on. Okay, there. All right. You guys can hear me now? Okay. I remember that news day. Okay, because I had a trade and I completely forgot that there was news. Totally forgot about the trade. And I saw the news. I'm serious. Like I fell over. I saw my account and it was a live account, like my own money, like no prop firm. My account, I was like, holy cow. I was so in the red and I was just like, well, what am I gonna do? It's the news. And thank goodness, I had the esteemed privilege to go ahead and wait it out. And I said, no, it's coming back. I know it is. And I did my analysis and everything. And you know what? It did come back. So thank goodness. But that day I did fall over. Like literally, guys, I fell over. Like I had my phone and I was like, and I fell over. Everyone at the house was like, what the hell is going on with you? Oh, excuse my language. What's going on? And I was just like, nothing, nothing at all. Cause I don't speak about my trades to anyone in the household. Like, you got to keep those emotions to yourself. So anywho, so guys, that's very important. And like he said, I always think about that too, when it's in the blue, it's up to you. And sometimes I just take the profit and walk away. I'm like, if I don't want to sit there and wait or anything or want to even risk it and it's in the profit, I'll just close it out and close my account and be happy, not be greedy. Say, hey, I just made whatever amount and go about my business for the day. Exactly. You won't get broke by taking profits. And that's a good one. So Oatmeal is better than no meal. All right. Okay, guys. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and finish up for today's session. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. All right. We are here every week on Mondays, different educators coming on to drop value. If you guys got value from our educators, let me see some high fives in the, like this chat on fire. Let's get this going. Drop it in the Telegram chats too. That way everyone sees, you know, that we got something great here. All right. And we want everybody to be involved and everything else. Okay. So I'm gonna have the educators drop your what is it, your internet links to your profiles. That way everyone can go ahead and start following you guys. All right. And also let me go around. If you can tell everybody, yes, your handles, everybody drop your handles. That way you guys can follow the educators on their Instagram handles. I'll drop mine as well. And let me go around, and guys, if you can tell everyone the time and day of your sessions, that way you guys can tune in. Go ahead, Jeff, you go first.
Sorry, I had difficulty to unmute. So basically, my sessions are only in French right now. I know that on another trader circle, I did mention that it's going to start in English, but it's going to start soon. I just have to make the content and stuff. But if sometimes I do bilingual sessions, so if you hop on the sessions and you speak English, let me know. I'll do both. I'll do French and English. So I do on Monday 10 a.m. Eastern time, Wednesday 7 p.m. Eastern time, and on Thursday 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to hop on my session.
Perfect. And you guys have to realize that at Akashic, since we're global, we have different languages. So we have educators in English, educators in Spanish, educators in French, and educators in Arabic. And we have some more languages coming soon. So make sure to stay tuned. Brent, how about for you?
In Spanish, I'm on at 10 Central Monday, 9 Central Tuesday, 10 Central Wednesday. And then in English, I'm on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 Central AM. Always in the morning.
Perfect. Okay. And guys, make sure, look, I believe all of our Instagram accounts, all 4 of us on here are verified in Instagram. That's that blue little check. All right. So don't fall for any of the scammers. None of us are going to ask you to send us Bitcoin. You know, I know that I'm in the crypto world. I'm not going to ask you to send me Bitcoin or anything of that nature. You fund your own accounts, but don't fall for it. Don't send anybody any money. All right. And if they're trying to talk to you and you think it's one of us, ask for a Zoom call. All right. So you can see us. We'll get on a Zoom call really quick. We don't do real phone calls. We do Zoom calls. That way you can see who this is. All right. And with Rich, all right, Rich, you want to let them know what times you're on as well? I see it in the chat. I don't know if you're just there we go.
My bad, guys. I don't know if I was
Okay.
my thing had completely cut out, but I'm here. Yeah, guys. So my sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Central time. So that's 8 Eastern. Obviously, it's mid-Asian session, guys. So I don't do live trading, but we do recap any signals and setups that I've done from the days before, and then do an outlook for what's to come for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. So that's what my sessions will consist of. But I appreciate everybody for hopping on, and I appreciate Claudia, Jeff, and Brant for really, setting up an amazing call, value for everybody on Akashex, and for any prospects as well that are looking to get involved in the community. Wouldn't be here without you guys continuing to, hold me accountable to be as great of traders as you guys and leaders as well. So that's what it's all about. Let's go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And with that being said, you guys have all of the information. Spread the word. I'll be here next Monday, same time, same channel, different educators, different topics. All right. And thank you so much for being here. And once again, congratulations for believing in yourself and taking this step forward. And, just keep going. Whatever you do, don't ring that bell. Keep going. All right. Okay. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you at the top. Bye, guys. Have a great day. God
Bye.
bless.
Thanks.